right, everybody, hello and welcome. We are outside the entrance for the LTA 2025 Summer Finals. We're out here talking to fans, asking them about how they feel about the LTA. And you are?
Alejandro,
Alejandro, where are you from?
Mexico.
Hi, I'm Rohan and I'm from Austin, Texas.
My name's Terrence Fuller and I'm from Michigan.
I'm Aiden, I'm from Waco, Texas.
I'm Trent, I go by Lettuce Plate online. I'm from Tampa, Florida.
Kevin, and from here, Plano, Texas.
I'm Bryson, and I'm coming from Wisconsin.
My name's Essie. I was around here, but I live in Oklahoma now.
I'm Donovan, I'm from Arizona.
We have a special treat for you today as we got an old-time friend. Mason's here to join us. Mason, where are you coming from today?
I'm coming by way of where I live now in Kingsville, Texas. So for context, in case anyone's wondering, me and him both were executives for the same college.
Oh, yeah.
We went to the same university.
Caster buddies.
Caster buddies, exactly. So I have a lot of history with this guy
Yep.
over here.
So let me just go ahead and just start off with the first question. How long have you been watching League of Legends, either North American esports or just LoL esports in general?
Well, overall, since 2015, around the World Championship.
Since I want to say 2019.
I've been watching League and playing League since 2014.
So I've been playing League of Legends since, I want to say like 2012.
Okay.
And then I've been watching League of Legends since 2013.
When was that C9 run that they made it to semis? That was
Really long time ago.
that was 2018, right? I believe it was 2018.
2017 or 2018, something like that.
So we'll just say 2018.
2016.
2016. Okay, so for a pretty long stint then.
I started playing in 2017, and I started watching Worlds that year. It was a lot of fun.
Probably since 2013, 2015.
Oh, so you're like an OG fan.
Yeah, I've been playing for a little bit.
Have you been to other esports events other than this one? Have you been to like another North American finals? Have you been to Worlds or maybe even just a different esport entirely?
I've been to some Overwatch League events.
Okay.
Different esport just to see like what the differences are. So.
Which do you like more?
Oh no, definitely this.
No, we've been to one before. I went to one in Chicago, I believe it was in 2022.
Okay. How did you like that?
That was awesome. That was probably the best event I've ever been to, honestly.
No, this is my first time.
Oh, wow. Okay, so your first time people are cheering. So excited to be in it for the first time?
I'm definitely excited to be here for the first time. It seems like a really good atmosphere already.
I actually have been to a couple Melee tournaments. That's like my game on the side that I play. Sometimes I'm way worse at that game than League, but those are always much more like smaller scale anyway. Mostly locals and stuff, and is what I go to. Like 40, 50 people type of thing. But yeah, League is like way bigger. The events that I've gone to in person. Worlds actually 2022 was the first one that I went to in person.
Oh, wow. That's a hell of a first event to go to for League.
Yeah, so I went to the semifinals in Atlanta. I'm from Florida, so Atlanta was the closest one. I was able to drive there, and that event was actually supposed to be in Toronto, and it got moved. So I wasn't even going to go originally, but then it was driving distance, so I decided to go.
Impossible not to go.
Yeah, it was. I've been wanting to go. The first MSI was actually in Florida, and my parents didn't. I was in high school at the time. My parents didn't let me go.
Oh.
I don't know if going to, what is it? DreamHack counts.
That counts, yeah.
I've been to DreamHack twice. This is my first League of Legends specific then.
Been to another one? Oh, okay, yeah. 2022 in Houston.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, that was a good event. Now, have you been to other types of esports events, or has it only been League of Legends?
It's only been League.
I've been to one other one, which was the first time it was in Texas, when it was in Houston. It was at NRG. It was the first live event since COVID.
Yeah.
So that was wicked. That was
a bomb event.
If you want to remember when it was timeline wise, that was the Danny Pentakill.
That was the Danny Pentakill.
That place. If you weren't there to see it live, it was crazy.
Yeah.
That was one of the loudest I've ever seen just in arena.
Well, I've been like in the latest 3 LLA finals before it was like dissolved, and also to the 2022 World Championship. I went to the play-ins and also the finals on San Francisco.
Awesome. Okay, so definitely not new to being at live events.
No.
Which one did you enjoy the most out of those?
Obviously, the 2022 final, one of the greatest matches of all time. The DRX versus T1, it was legendary.
So you've been watching for a long time. How do you feel about the LTA?
I feel like the LTA as a whole, it has things that it can improve on, but it's definitely not the worst that I've watched personally.
Gotcha. What is it about the LTA that you like?
Well, actually, I do like this finals format a lot.
Okay.
I like this finals format a lot. I think that, it gives us more competitive games versus those bottom tier teams, rather than having them seeded into those those first two top teams and getting just completely stomped.
Well, Despite its mixed reaction and reception, I think that the union between the best of the North and the best of the South has really shown like some of the brighter side on the development of the players. But I think like it lacks like kind of its identity because it lost like the loss of the brands and also like the sudden move to all the new formats and everything. I think it lacks like something to attract more viewers as well.
So it kind of just lacks an identity for kind of both conferences, or just overall it lacks identity?
I think for both conferences as well.
Okay, gotcha.
I like the LTA. I think it could make I think the main purpose of it is to make the South teams better, like the Americas. It's a nice change, I think. But on the other hand, I'm not a big fan of how one of our slots has been taken by the South. I wish they would just have like more slots. Like instead of having 3 total and like 1 taken by the South America, we could just have 4 or 5, like have a couple to South America, but still maybe keep the same format. I'm not entirely sure, but
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's nice to incorporate another region into it, so I think that breeds kind of more competitiveness.
Sure.
And more opportunity for other players around the world, so I like it.
So you were definitely a fan of the merger?
Yes, yes.
It's definitely been rough this year. I think it doesn't help when like everyone immediately knew the rebrand was kind of not going to work. Like even from the jump, everyone was kind of like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And that sentiment has kind of carried throughout the entire year. Only having one roadshow was pretty not great, to be honest. And they didn't even do a lot of like cross-conference thing. This is only like the second time we've even played the Brazilian teams in like the whole year. So it kind of just, it was pretty underwhelming, I'm not going to lie.
I know just going to 8 teams feels bad.
Yeah.
It also feels bad seeing the LLA and Brazil area kind of also consolidate, but
So safe to say not a fan of the merger.
I would say I think it's executed as best as it can be right now. I think it was a little late of implementation. I feel like maybe if they did it earlier, maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. Maybe with the rebrand, it's a little bad, but
There's a lot of mixed opinions about it.
Yeah.
I enjoy just getting to watch and enjoy the esport. I think it's a little sad that there's not more like cross-regional games, but that's just kind of how it is.
Yeah. Do you feel like the rebrand and the merge kind of hit the spot with that, or do you feel like it should be doing more to get them to play?
It's weird. It doesn't. I think maybe a little more because for one unified league to only be playing like a couple times a year, a couple games, it doesn't. It kind of still feels like 2 separate leagues in a way. So.
Okay, so initially I liked it going in the sense of like I enjoyed more champion variations. I initially thought it was more games, but when we got into the final split, I started seeing issues competitively that, cause I watch a lot of Dom and LS and stuff like that. So I was just like, I was hearing what they were saying and I was like, okay, I can see how it's working out, that maybe we're not getting enough games before we get the conference. So if there was a way to get more games before the conference and have more ability to let teams grow, I feel like it would be better.
Now, do you mean total number of games in general, or do you mean cross-conference games?
In games general before the cross-conference.
Okay, so just the larger number of games.
Yes, larger number of games.
Double round robin best of 3, or just more best of 3s?
I would say the double round robin, and then also the fact of not doing the pick and play.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those 2 things would be a little bit better and incite more good teams playing against good teams rather than bad versus good.
Gotcha.
Not that every team's bad, but it's just like I would like to see more competitive growth versus, well, we know we're going to smash them, so let's smash them kind of deal.
I wish it was still the LCS. I mean, I really like watching the more international events. I love that that's been happening. I love Fearless Draft. Only thing is, it's just, it really sucks for the LTA South since they lose all the time. And they're going to continue to lose, but I'd love for them to prove me wrong.
Gotcha.
I think the LTA, honestly, it's interesting because I feel like it's just a good format away. Like, honestly, I think the problem that a lot of LTA fans have is that the format is really confusing to follow. And that's the same problem in like LEC, LCK a little bit, LPL, where it just, like, for example, like, there are some teams where it's like they play 3 games, they lose 3 games, they're done.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if that's fair or conducive to building a league that's top down going to get better.
Sure.
Because right now, I think anyone who has watched LTA at all understands FlyQuest is the best team. They're going to be the most well-oiled machine from LTA going into Worlds, right? They've looked the part. They took Gen G to 5 games 2 years ago. They took BLG to 5 games this year, right? And that honestly depends on what you think about BLG. To be fair, but I think the LTA is I think it's in a fine spot. It just needs a normal format for people to follow.
Sure.
Because all these people out here, this is who you're trying to reach to, and you can't. I feel like if your format is really confusing, that's really hard to do.
There is a rumor kind of circulating right now online, both on X and on Reddit, that Riot is reconsidering unmerging the regions and going back to the LCS and the CB LOL. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I am still open to it. I think that it would be nice to be able to have kind of both regions still in the professional setting. So
Sure.
I like the merger in the regards that you can still have kind of more competition, more openly broadcasted,
Sure.
in my opinion. So I like having the LTA merge, but if it also separated, I can understand that, as long as there's still that capability of having the open competitiveness against the two regions.
I would love that personally. I loved the LCS as a product before this.
Okay.
And even though I'm still here, I'm still watching, I do feel like it has lost some of its luster due to this merger.
Okay.
I think it's definitely a better setup than they have right now. LCS is like the last kind of branding that's like recognizable with North American League. It's been on kind of a downward trend, but I think it's a good idea, especially with how little they utilize the cross conference. Like I said, it like we barely ever even play the Brazilian team, so
Sure.
It makes sense that they call it something else like while they're playing, but then keep the original branding the same, especially for them because they had a really good fandom going in Brazil, and they kind of just got it like stripped away so that North America could kind of like leech off of them.
Yeah.
So I felt kind of bad for them. So I think it's good that they're at least going back with like the branding and everything.
That's a little better because I think it would definitely make the regular season LCS split away from the conference. So I think then whenever we have the LTA conference saying LTA North, LTA South, that's specific to right before Worlds.
Sure.
So I think that would work well.
I think that's a smart move because the LCS and the CB LOL have built up like a lot of branding over the years, a lot of like fan recognition, and I think this year like the rebrand probably like hurt a little bit of that. I think viewership probably wasn't as high this year, so.
Yeah.
Honestly, I miss LCS, but I like the LTA and LTA.
The North and the South.
Yeah, I like the North and the South. If they kept it as a conference and then had the CB LOL and the LCS, I understand that too. I feel like they'd probably gain more people back because they recognize the LCS.
Sure.
I personally like the branding of the North and South. It just seems nicer. I think there's just a nostalgia factor that people have with the old LCS ways.
Sure.
But I think having more teams that actually want to play would be better too. I don't know if that constitutes that we would, because I think we went down to 18 bracket.
Yes.
Yeah. So would that go back to 10? I don't know. But it's just I feel like we need a little bit more teams, a little bit more practice.
Would you like them to go back to 10 teams?
I think 10 teams would be better. Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't do that in the first place, because like the whole LTA North-South thing, I don't really get, but I like the unique identity that both of the leagues have.
I like that. I think it was a decent idea to like keep LTA, but I think the problem is with the regions is that it's just not. We'll see today, right, with 100 Thieves and forgive me, VKS. Thank you. We'll see how it looks today. I'm not super high on. I've never been super high on CB LOL,
Sure.
right, and that region. So I don't know what to expect from them. I don't watch them, and that's the problem. Is that yes, we merged, but they're still separate.
So functionally, nothing ever changed.
Functionally, nothing changed except we get 2 crossover games. Like if there were a lot more crossover games, and there was like a studio in like Dallas or wherever, and they moved the LTA studio or the LCS, whatever you want to call it, to like Dallas or wherever, and you got these teams always playing each other, that might mean more to LTA, because right now it's like, these people probably don't know who VKS are.
Sure.
Right?
Knowing that people really love the LCS and the CB LOL branding will be like a nice opportunity to reconnect and reattract all the viewers that kind of went away because of the change. So it might be like a really good thing to happen.
So you, if they did it, you would be for it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as a player who has seen the league sports scene during all these years, I can really see how passionate the players are around the world. So bringing back that, it will be like a blast for all the players.
Gotcha.
I think resplitting the regions is fine. I'm mostly focused on world spots. I think the best thing for Riot to do is I want like both Americas to be competitive at Worlds. So whatever structure they can figure out to make both Americas competitive Worlds, if they need to add more events to play each other. But I think resplitting in itself is not a terrible idea.
Now, as a fan, as a longtime fan, and as someone that's been playing the game for a while, what could Riot do to bring you back in and be more invested in the sport? What would make you excited starting next year, or something that they could do?
Definitely more than one road show. I think that's kind of crazy that there's only one like tournament that you can actually go to in person. I think one thing I mentioned before was like some kind of collectible or like physical thing that people can like hold that they can support their teams besides just buying like jerseys of their teams. I think that's one thing that would be like, most gamers collect things. Most people love like collectible figures, like trading cards, anything like that. That's one thing they could do. And then I think Pro Rel will never happen again, promotion relegation. I think franchising is like a bridge that once they crossed it, it's kind of like they're just going to be stuck in that model. But in theory, I think that would help a lot because Pro Rel will naturally get players and teams that nobody knew about that like become good and then enter the league, and like it creates new stories, new things to follow, new like narratives and everything, and it does it like naturally through the games themselves. It doesn't have to be something like artificial or a different format or something. The format's also terrible, but that's a whole different can of worms.
So that would be, so then maybe changing the format would help as well?
Oh yeah. Please give me double round robin, best 3 regular season, double LM playoffs. It should be the standard like globally. Like LCK's done it for like 8 years or something. LPL has had the double elimination playoffs for like 4 or 5 years. I don't know why it's not the standard everywhere. It like any best of ones. We only went to best of 3s like this year, right? This year or last year. Best of ones are like such a joke in this esport, but
maybe more in-person tournaments. I think those are always a lot of fun.
Yeah. So you're not satisfied with just the one road show a year?
Yeah, I think like I was at a spring finals not too long ago. I think that ended up being the last one there was, and then there's been a lot of really hype moments at those tournaments. Like I want to say I remember like Danny, Pentakill, things like that happening where like in the studio it's just like even like watching online it's not the same vibe as what when you have the crowd there cheering everyone on.
I'm happy they went back to weekend games because that was a big issue during the weekdays. I was working, couldn't watch. The trash talk, they have a whole entire week based off of trash talk, and they have the pros like talking to each other right before the game kind of deal. I feel like if they had more of that, that would be a little bit more entertaining. It's a lot of it comes down to the fact that I feel like I'm just watching games play out, and I'm not really getting anything outside of it. Sometimes it's like little goofy stuff commentating, so I feel like having actual content.
So you're looking for beef. You're looking for beef.
Yeah, I want entertainment. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Not necessarily like in the WNBA how we have two people literally SmackDown kind of deal, and like people are just like, I want to watch those games. I feel like that would be kind of fun. It would like we incited more like the rivalries that come alive more. Yeah.
Awesome.
Just more games, because like it feels that they've moved more towards international play.
Sure.
Like there is no like LCS season really. It's just like a couple games then a playoffs, which I'm fine with. But I just wish there was just more games in general.
I mean, for the next year, they will travel to more places for live events. So maybe like a chance of having like more interactions, because we already saw how the LEC Roadshow went. Like it was amazing on France and also on Spain. So maybe bringing back that, like to give more events to the players, like to connect and bringing together the community. That will be like one of the things I think will beneficiate.
I think if they were able to add in just the fact that you can have more games in the world settings just makes it a lot more exciting.
Okay.
I think that you have the opportunity to kind of go against different regions with a lot of different competition within the regions. That makes it even more exciting because there's different metas in each region. So you can kind of see the explosiveness from either side, which is really great.
I honestly just split the merge back up, make it to where we have, regional identities again rather than being one big conglomerate.
Sure. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for stopping by. I really
Of course.
appreciate it.
Yeah, see you again.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thank you so much for stopping by to give an interview.
Thank you.
Well, hey, thank you so much for stopping to give an interview.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Dude, that wasn't so bad. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is the day, the official start of the League of Legends Championship Series.
Wow, turtle! Turtle on the triple, turtle on the quadra, and the faithful shall be rewarded. Double lift! Get the GA! Double lift!
Are you going to lend the P1 Pigeon over to Cloud9 to help out the reverse sweep?
Cloud9 in the top 4 at Worlds! One of the biggest moments in League of Legends history as Team Liquid take down the reigning world champ!
Sven, you gotta love it. He's taking his victory run here.
The king of Pentagon! Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me! Nobody thought they'd beat G2. It's time to change your mind. To all the fans, the lifeblood of this beautiful game. And FlyQuest bring us to Silver Scrapes.